I would have missed the pain, but I also would have missed the dance.
Sister Wives, final tell-all recap and final episode recap. We made it of the 19th season, and why does that sound so But I think the real question here, if she had been your little Loretta, would you have been her Conway Twitty? And was that your chair after all? I'm sorry, the closest you get to Garth Brooks is Chris Gaines. I don't know. No, Chris Gaines was not just a fever dream. That really happened. Anyway, I digress. Let's keep going. But astute. I just imagine, like, I've listened to that song crying about a breakup, so I mean, I guess it fits. I mean, there is that awkward moment that was actually earlier in the episode. That was just so extra. I had to Tarantino this, so that was actually the very end. But when he was asked, would you go back and do this again? And he said he just couldn't answer that question because it's a double-edged sword. What? Because if you said you wouldn't go back and do that again, then your kids wouldn't exist, so.
This is all very trite. I think they're having fun doing this. And what's crazy about it is Janelle and Christine are both divorced from me. And it's still, all they do is talk about me.
In another situation, I could actually see that criticism, but in this situation, it's almost like you spent the last 15 years on TV broadcasting your relationships, and if those have failed, that's become a main storyline on the show that you've been in all this time. So it's almost like talking about this, and all of you talking about this, is like your job or something weird. They were still talking about the luggage rack, and it's trite and whatever, and it's like, well, talk to your wife, because she had a big old grin on her face talking about how she gets it. So it's not trite to her, and it wasn't trite to the other three, so maybe it's honestly one of those things you might want to care about because they cared about it. Then we go into David and Christine, and I was actually glad they went into this. I didn't love all the wording, but, you know, I get what he means.
I've been around polygamists, no. The polygamist with there is, they won't allow you to express yourself because everything has to be controlled. He wants the women to have the dispute so that way he's the man in charge.
Weird.
And stuff. And instead of being on an equal base with you and I, it's like they love that fighting going on with them. And they love that. The men love that kind of stuff.
So what I loved about that is very honest. And one thing that I think that the show shies away from that I wish they didn't was discussing the real dynamics and the groups that these people come from, because you'll actually see these dynamics in earlier seasons. There's one episode where Christine is justifiably upset. She's being taken so they can hang out with this guy that said horrible things about their family, whatever. She expresses this and she's like, I don't want to go see him. The verdict from the rest of the family and Kody is she's PMSing, she's the problem, and I'm not apologizing just because you asked me to, woman. Season 8, episode 3, go back and look at that, and there were just several other moments like that, and you're so kind of engrossed in this. By the end, she agrees. She's like, yeah, I guess I'm the problem kind of thing, which I'm glad she sees that differently now, but it's a very real dynamic, one that I wish was visited more on the show.
It's always a competition. It's crazy because I've dated a couple ex-polygamous women, and the men ruin them.
Yeah.
Absolutely ruin them.
They're not ruined.
My oldest sister's ruined from it. So when I just started dating you, I was a little leery of it because I'm like, okay. But I was like, holy cow, I found a diamond in the rough here.
I don't love the word ruined to describe anyone because nobody is ruined. You can heal, you can get past it. Well, I will say that they do come out very traumatized because they've been used just to have babies. They don't have anything of their own. It's scary. Not to mention they've been told horrible things about all of us. It's a very terrifying situation. So it probably does take a long time to heal. It definitely does. But I wouldn't say they're ruined, but I do get the message. You have to remember too, depending on the group, there are various types of bad things that go on. If you got someone coming out of the FLDS, that's going to be really hard. You got someone out of the AUB, you've got someone out of the Order. They're going to have different struggles that come up and a lot of similar struggles that are really hard to work through, especially in certain groups. They are also not educated about anything out here. A lot of people within the FLDS, a long time ago, it's getting better now, thought Warren Jeffs was the president. So it's, you know, it's a lot. The Bateman group, he actually took members from FLDS and was living within Short Creek because he convinced his followers that Warren had actually passed away and given him the group, which some of them still believe to this day. Even at the Beistline trial, which were 2 of his accomplices, they had Warren on the witness list just in case they had to bring him in to show people that, yes, he is here. The FBI did veto that. I don't know why. Maybe it was just too expensive or something like that. But I mean, that was a real thing. That just happened last year. I was there for the trial in August. My my point being, it's very, very layered. So I think using just one word like that, not exactly correct, but I do get what he means. And there is a lot of trauma. There's a lot of heartbreak. And it is hard. How are you, after all of that, and you've seen all these men and what they've done to you and these other women, because it's not, you know, there's a lot of dynamics here. It's going to be hard to trust people, but you'll get it. You'll be okay. Then they bring up the wives' physical appearances and how that's very, very important to Kody, which, I mean, I don't think it's a shot in the dark. I don't know why anyone would deny that Kody's shallow. He clearly is. If he wasn't, he'd shave his head. I'm just saying. But they bring up that Kody would praise them for looking better. And again, it brings up this camping trip. And I am on the side of, I don't wear makeup when I'm camping. Like, we're going to get dirty. It's just, I don't do that. But if you want to, that's fine with me, whatever. However, the dynamic that they had a problem with was they felt like the ones doing makeup and all that stuff weren't doing as much work as everyone else. Now, there's differing opinions from this and, you know, how they feel that went down. And if you don't trust any of those opinions, I'll show you the one I trust.
You have complained every 10 minutes. We're never going to get out of here.
That's because I know we never will.
He sees that Meri and Robyn are sitting at their tent putting their makeup on, and it's just making him so angry.
They're the ones over there putting on makeup. The good and right thing doesn't matter what everybody else is doing.
I mean, if I was that age and I saw my mom and everyone else doing all this work and other people are doing makeup and I want to go fishing and have fun and be a kid, but I have to wait 2 hours for that, I mean, valid. Not to mention, do they remember all of this has been filmed? All of it. And then Father of the Year and Stepmother of the Year decided to say this. Okay.
Hunter is a raging testosterone monster. He just has this attitude of my parents are stupid and I am God.
Or maybe they should just...
One, I just don't understand why my kids don't talk to me anymore. Two, sometimes raging hormone monsters are actually right. And three, with what Robyn said.
I think in Hunter's mind, he's looking at me and he's saying, you're not my mom. You're not my dad's wife. And this came out of nowhere because as far as I was concerned, it was kind of like we were just all trying to blend our family.
So let's start again. One, you're not his mom. Not everybody's going to force their kids to call some random who just came into their family mommy or daddy. That's more your game. Two, early sowing the seeds of we can't blend this family because of these kids, right? And three, if it was about him not accepting Robyn, then why was he griping about Meri too? You don't have to make every time one of these kids has an emotional moment, some monumental moment, they're destroying the family. They're just being kids, man. Calm down. It's not that deep. And then, of course, Kody's response to talking about this with the luggage rack and the makeup and all of that.
Why are you so obsessed with me?
Although I would argue that that is the clip from the show, I will show you the actual clip from the show tomorrow, and I hope you have a good day.